Let's get into Monday Night Football.
Doesn't matter.
It's the right
Someone
answer.
who's losing.
It's the right answer. The Chiefs beat the Saints 26-13 in a very odd-looking group of pass catchers at this stage. Besides Travis Kelce, who has a really nice night, but JuJu Smith-Schuster, 8 targets, 7 catches, 130 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, just ridiculous.
For a converted tight end, that's what he's got to be, right? He looked like
he's the Rashid Rice role now.
I mean, I guess. Honestly, that's true though. I mean, like a lot of his routes were the inside stuff. A lot of the Rashid Rice stuff went to JuJu Smith-Schuster, and he was wide open. They didn't account for him. 23.5% target share, which was second on the team. 82 of his 130 yards came after the catch. Again, they're getting some of that easy stuff that they were doing with Rashid Rice. You know, where just all that underneath stuff was open for Rice, and he would get the yards after the catch, and he's doing that now. He did only play 66%. He only had a 66% route participation, and this is somebody that has had 0 fantasy points in 3 of the previous 4 games. It was his most fantasy points since Week 14 of 2022. Having said that, you feel like, that they're looking for answers here. The expectation here is that Rashid Rice isn't coming back, and so, they brought him back once he's just getting up to speed, kind of thing. Now they're going to have a bye week. He doesn't look like JuJu of old, but I don't know that he needs to be in this offense. I think this is sort of legit.
Yeah.
Not many other options.
There's not that.
Mahomes
exactly.
clearly likes him.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes. I think there's a good chance that he just through volume alone, like we mentioned before, that he surpasses Xavier Worthy, who is very big play dependent. We'll talk about the other guys on the Chiefs, but to me, the biggest kind of takeaway out of this is that in terms of an action, I would try and trade for Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes, I think, had the greatest game of all time where someone threw for 0 touchdowns and 1 interception. Mahomes was masterful. He should have, on merit, had 400-plus yards and 2 touchdowns, because Paulson Adebo committed crimes down the right sideline twice, where he committed PI on Xavier Worthy twice. One of them got called, the other didn't. One of those should have been a bomb touchdown. Mahomes had a touchdown called back by a holding penalty. The pick in the end zone to JuJu was extremely fluky. It's a huge sign. It's a great sign that Mahomes was able to show that production, just didn't show up in the stat sheet.
Yeah, and the interception had some bad luck to it, right? Yeah. Which was a great play by Colin Saunders, who catches the ball that goes off of JuJu.
Yeah. Let's go, big man.
The big man rumbles. At 324 pounds, Colin Saunders reached a top speed of 15.79 miles per hour on his 36-yard interception. The third fastest speed by a ball carrier who weighs over 320 pounds since 2016. Linval Joseph and George Fant were the 2 fastest. And for that, Colin Saunders drinks free today here at the Happy Hour Bar.
As well,
Rumble, big man, rumble.
That was an unbelievable play by the big fella there, getting to a high speed. Those were Joe Flacco numbers in terms of the speed that he got to.
4 miles per hour was less than Joe Flacco, which I would debate.
We're still
but I will say, just in terms of broadcasting, what an unbelievable moment where on the main broadcast, they're talking about the fact that his brother is a backup dancer for Taylor Swift. It's super random. Who knew that?
It's a very small world.
Right? And they had a shot of when he, meaning Saunders' brother was on the stage with Travis Kelce, who also did a couple of stints as a backup tight end for Taylor Swift on her tour. And then he makes this unbelievable play. So it was just kind of this weird confluence of.
Joe Buck was in his bag last night.
Oh,
it was
top 10 out of 10.
Deep in his bag.
Great to see Travis Kelce come back, season high in fantasy points, season high catches, red zone targets, catch rate. Looks back. It was a nice matchup here as well. And it's clear that Kareem Hunt, as long as Pacheco is out and he's not coming back, Kareem Hunt's going to be the guy. Led all running backs in rushes in Week 5. 80% of the team's red zone rushes. Doesn't look explosive, but he's getting the job in a high-octane offense.
On the Saints side, Jay, not a lot of great things.
Not a lot of great things. I think the big takeaway is that Rashid Shaheed needs to be started every single week. He was the guy in the offense over Cris Olave. He catches the bomb touchdown, which you might think is unsustainable. Well, it seems pretty sustainable for Rashid Shaheed because he's got the most bomb touchdowns the past couple of years, along with Devontae Adams. I don't think there's other huge takeaways. Just need to monitor the health of Derek Carr, which doesn't look incredible at this point. I'm not super excited about Mason Tipton.
No, nor should you be, or Jake Haener if he were to take over for Derek Carr. Although Jake Haener will be Ross. Somebody will pick him up in the League of Assholes.
I'd rather they start Spencer Rattler, but But I agree. I would think Haener's experience there would give him the edge.
Yeah,
we'll keep an eye on all that.
We'll keep an eye on all that as well. But I just have a question for you guys right here. Rashid Shaheed now has 15 fantasy points in four of 5 games this season. Chris Olave, this is his second game this year with under 4 fantasy points. If I'm telling you can only start one Saints wide receiver next week, who is it?
I'm starting Shaheed.
I'd still start Olave, but I think it's a coin flip.
I think it's a question here. 12.5% target share for Olave as well. I think you're probably right. You have to stick with him, but it's concerning. It's a concerning trend. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.